Welcome to Books on Point. Stokvels could be the South African economy's secret weapon. If harnessed correctly, investments in Stokvels could significantly bolster the economy. According to the National Stokvel Association of South Africa, there are 11.4 million South Africans who are members of Stokvels. 44 billion rand is pulled collectively by ordinary people, and it is saved by 820,000 Stokvels. I'm joined in studio by Palesa Lengolo to talk to us about her new book titled Stokvels, How They Can Make Your Money Work for You. Thank you so much for your time. So let's talk about why you decided to write the book.
I've worked with Stokvels for about 5 years, and I heard there are information needs in terms of financial education and information not being accessible most of the time. So I thought a book that Stokvel members that have everything that they need in terms of how to use their money would be great.
Okay, cool. So let's talk about your experience with Stokvels, because you actually refer to it in one of the chapters where you talk about the community in which you grew up and how Stokvels operated.
In my community, Stokvels were a normal thing. My mom was in a number of them, so it was part of the norm as we grew up that every household has a Stokvel member somehow. So when I came to Joburg and studied finance and started working with them, it was just a natural progression. And when I did learn with them, I found that these people are really powerful, but what are they really doing with their money? What are they doing with their contributions or their payouts or their shareouts at the end of the day? And I found that there's a lot of consuming, less investing, while there's like 800,000 Stokvels and then 49 billion industries. So I thought we need to do something that they can really do something with their money that can actually work.
Yeah. Take us through, the putting through this book together. I mean, the research that went behind it, people you spoke to, and perhaps even some of the interesting things you discovered about Stokvels.
The book was very hard to get people to talk, number one. So I found very interesting Stokvels that I also didn't know even existed. Your credit card Stokvels, your Lobolak Stokvels, your Lucrescent Stokvels, which I found very interesting. And for me, when I was doing the research, I was like, actually, you can Stokvel for anything. You can Stokvel for weave, you can Stokvel for makeup, anything that you feel you need capital for, you can do it. And most importantly, it can be used to be a powerful weapon for the economy, because Stokvels can be a funding model. Yeah. We have a Stokvel that is already funding SMEs.
The one thing about Stokvels, and you highlighted quite a lot in the book, is that you got to make sure that the process and the admin behind the Stokvel works properly, and people adhere to the rules and they know what's going on, and they also kept up to date with regards to perhaps bank statements, knowing how much is going into the Stokvel and how much is going out. What are some of the challenges behind Stokvels?
Well, Stokvels are a traditional format. Back then, it was not a need to be really formalized, because it was your neighbor, your aunt, people naturally trusted each other. It's a different thing now. There is scams, there's crime. So if you professionalize it, it's better. You're going to be protecting yourself from so many conflicts within the Stokvel. Putting a constitution together is like a governing document that everybody signs and agree to how you're going to run the Stokvel. Knowing what's going on with your money, where's the money being invested, where is it being saved, who hasn't paid, who hasn't, is really an important factor now, because you want to see the money really going into what you have signed up for.
Yeah. From your experience and, some of the people you may have spoken to, do you find that, financial institutions are finally waking up to the fact that, hold on, there are Stokvels, there are people who are actually trying to make efforts to save their money, to allow their money to work for them and have a better relationship? Maybe let's step in and try to assist them as best as we can. Are you finding that?
Not really. A lot of Stokvels that I spoke to complained about financial institutions in terms of tailor-made products that are specifically for them. They felt that a lot of financial products out there, for example, are for individuals more than they are for groups. And there are a few that have come to the party now, big financial institutions which are offering specifically Stokvel accounts, specifically financial products for Stokvels. And I think it's a matter of everybody in the industry, the stakeholders, working together, trying to understand what are the needs of the Stokvels as institution and trying to work around products that can actually work for them as groups more than as individuals.
On that note then, I can imagine financial education and financial literacy is one of the things that Stokvels grapple with, and it's always a great opportunity to make sure members are on the same page in terms of what they understand about what's going on in the financial space.
Yes, during my research I actually found financial education being the main reason why Stokvels haven't done as much as they should have done with their money so far. I mean, Stokvels are many years old, and they've been contributing all these monies, and most of them they go to groceries or consumables more than they go into assisting or being an alternative financial institution, more than into funding businesses, more than to doing bigger things that they're actually able to do it because they do have the capital when they're put together. But for the longest time, the financial education of the perception that you need a certain amount of money, like billions, in order to do something is not actually true, because now a lot of investments do accommodate you even if you don't have that big of a capital. And Stokvels actually do have big capital to be able to invest in a lot of things that can really change or at least contribute to the economy.
Earlier on, you were talking about the different types of Stokvels. Talk to us about how you've seen them evolve in the 21st century, because now they're not so much about groceries and burial societies. They've actually moved on, and some of them are incorporating technology.
Yes, I love where Stokvels are going. That's why they're becoming so popular right now. There's a lot of apps like your Stokvelers that have made it transparent. You know when you are meeting, who hasn't contributed, the reminders like that, being able to invest in things using easy equities, for example. So those are the technologies involved, and upcoming solutions technology. We're going the digital way, where now we're going to even be able to verify your members, their credit record, if you really want to, what type of members you want to be in your Stokvel with, their criminal records and things like that. So there's an opportunity even for young people to tap into the market, to modernize it, to use in this old traditional form to actually be a powerful tool.
Palesa, thank you so much for your time. That is Palesa Lengolo talking to us about her new book titled Stokvels. Well, our recommended book for the week is titled The Moment of Lift by Melinda Gates. Over the past 20 years, Melinda has worked tirelessly to find solutions for people around the world with the greatest needs. The Moment of Lift addresses the most pressing issues affecting women globally.